everyone, Big Pauly back for a new video. Yes, I know, 2 videos in one day. You can't say better than that, can you? I think it was about a year ago, I started a new series of reviews that literally lasted about 3 weeks. What can I say? I'm just such a lazy git. Yes, I started a series called A Carpenter's Tale. And it was not a documentary about making some bookcase or some table or some shit like that. It was a review on John Carpenter movies. I'd only seen maybe three or four in my life. I know some of the more well-known ones I'd never seen. People were shocked. You've never seen this? And it kind of come to a standstill. We did The Fog. I did do the original Halloween, but it wasn't part of A Carpenter's Tale. That kind of gave me the idea to start doing it. We also did The Thing as well, which I really enjoyed. The Thing. And also, I can't remember the other one, but there was another one. But I've decided to kick off the series again in the run-up to Halloween. So I've got quite a few to go through. Not today, but hopefully it's going to be one a week. Don't worry, I'm not going to just do one and then bugger off again. Okay, so we've got Dark Star, Starman, Elvis, the movie, Escape from New York, Prince of Darkness, Big Trouble in Little China. We do have the new Halloween, which is, I know it's not directed by John Carpenter, but it seems only fitting to include that one in the run-up to Halloween. And I'm starting it off with the most requested one for me to watch and review. And it is a film I've only ever seen once, when I was a wee little nipper. Yes. Basically, I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. That's right. They Live. With, what's his name? Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper. Fantastic. Yes, so going to stick that one on. Watch that. I'll give you my little review afterwards. It has been such a long time since I've seen this. It's got to be, I mean, this was 1988. It was probably early 90s where I actually watched it. Very early 90s. Or it could have been like late 80s. It could have been like the following year. But I do remember I was still at school. That's how long ago it was. And I've never seen it since. Right, okay. So let's stick this in the old Blu-ray player, because all I remember about this is something to do with, like, they've got no faces and he's got a pair of sunglasses that can see like androids or something. Yeah, I know. I've seen it once 40 odd years ago. So yes. So it'd be interesting to see a more adult take on it now, and I'll probably stick with it because I probably understand it more now. Okay, so let's do it then. Let's stick it in the old player and watch They Live. Okay, so we've got a nice slip cover on here, nice and glossy, as you can see. They did do a 4K version of this that I believe came with a book and everything, but I just opted for the cheaper option. Okay, so let's have a look, see what we have inside. Okay, so we have 2 discs. Why have we got 2 discs? We have the feature, and we also have the special features, the extras. Right, okay, let's stick that in the old player. Nice and shiny, of course. Fantastic. Here we go then. Right, okay. Disc is actually in, spinning. We do have a very interesting animated menu screen here. So I'm really interested to revisit this after such a long time, because I really don't remember much about it. So let's press play, and I shall see you in about an hour and a half. I think it's 90 minutes. Okay, let's do it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay, so they live. They certainly do. Yes, a very good film. I didn't quite realise, probably now it's just dawned on me, that this is actually an alien invasion movie. Whereas I was thinking previously it was something to do with just like a science experiment on androids or something. I don't know why. But yeah, really good. It stars Rowdy Roddy Piper, who is he a wrestler? I think he's a WWF wrestler. And also Keith David, not David Keith. Yes, Keith David. Basically, Roddy Piper plays a character called John, who's kind of like a drifter, drifting into this town, looking for work, looking for a place to stay, get some food, that kind of thing. Get his head down. Kind of reminded me a bit of, the beginning of First Blood, that kind of thing. You get some work at a builder's yard, befriends Keith David's character, Frank, I think it is, and he gets to hang out with the kind of like the down and out part of this, the town, the city, food kitchen, that kind of thing. There's a church across the road, that's all very mysterious, and the priest keeps coming in and out doing sermons and all that kind of stuff. And John actually pops over there just as, curiosity, and finds this massive setup. It's kind of like a scientist setup, and speakers and all that kind of stuff. And they're shipping out these massive boxes, and eventually discovers that what the contents of the actual boxes are sunglasses. Big deal. Yes, but these are sunglasses that enable you to actually see the true nature of these alien invaders that have come to shit on us, take our resources, model the world they want it in order to, terraform or whatever they want to do with it, whatever they usually do, and make us all slaves. Of course, John and Frank kick back hard. Actually, talking about kicking, there's actually a really good fight scene in an alleyway just between these two characters. And just that fight scene alone is worth the entry fee. Goes on and on and on, but it's very entertaining, and some of it is a little bit funny as well. Okay, so the idea is basically to kill all of these aliens and to get to the signal. There's a signal on the top of a radio station tower where the news is done. It kind of like blocks out what everybody really sees. It's a bit of a precursor to the Matrix, actually, because it's kind of like pulling the wool over our eyes to what the actual reality is. So yeah, that's very clever. And basically it's all out war on this newsroom to get to this tower to actually destroy it, so that everybody can see really who they're shagging. As you remember on that very end scene, probably one of the best end sequences ever. But yes, really good. There was a lot of this I didn't remember at all. The picture quality was absolutely fantastic. I know it's a brand new restoration. I don't know if it's a brand new restoration from a 4K scan or something, but I know there is a 4K edition of this, which must look amazing. But there was some grain. Obviously, it's a 80s film, filmed on film. But other than that, it was a spectacular picture quality. You would think that it was filmed today. The sound was really good. DTS, Master Audio 5.1, upscale to Neuro. Lots of thumping bass, machine guns, lots of thuds in the fight sequence in the alley. It's like, you can imagine that when they were actually filming this, there was, you know, some Foley artists punching some big pieces of pork just to get the right sound. But yes, it's really good, really good. Acting was superb. I think Roddy Piper. Being a wrestler, I suppose this is like one of his first, or maybe if not his first, foray into Hollywood. And I suppose it's probably the same way that Thunderlips, you know, from Rocky. Oh God, what's his name? The big wrestler with a white yellow beard and all that kind of shit. I can't remember his name. And also The Rock as well. They're kind of like foray into movie making. And although they became quite big, well, The Rock did anyway. But I don't think I actually remember him ever being in anything else. I remembered that he actually died, but that was 2015, and I don't remember him in any other film. I would have thought that maybe this film could have kind of like pushed him to like action status, you know, action hero status in maybe the late 80s, early 90s, but it didn't. Maybe he just wasn't interested in doing any more movies. But yeah, really good. Loved it. The music was good. There were a ton of extras on here. I actually can't go through all of them because there are so many. But this is one of these new restoration ones where they just put shitloads of extras on. The disc is actually region locked B. The running time is 94 minutes. As I say, the sound is DTS Master Audio 5.1, but it upscaled to Neuro and sounded spectacular. Looked great, sounded great, and a great film. Way better than I remember. And it's great after all these years that I can actually sit down now, understand it, because I think I was probably a little bit young, you know, when I first watched this. I was probably more interested in going out, I don't know, setting fire to some building or something, or getting pissed. But yeah, it's great that I can actually enjoy it now. Right, okay, so where would I rate They Live on my scale of 1 to 10? Never got bored, and I'll tell you one thing, a lot of filmmakers drag films out, but with this film there was so much accomplished and so much told in the first 30 minutes. That's how you do it. So I am giving They Live 9 out of 10. Definitely really good. Okay, so that's the next episode down of A Carpenter's Tale. We'll do another one next week. I'm not going to say which one it is, because then it'll be a surprise. Yes, besides, I don't know yet. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Share, like, comment, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.